talk your shit, me to you.
Shit, me then you talking shit with?
Renesmae Banks, aka Twyla, aka Exotic. Y'all already know who the fuck it is. Let's go.
First thing I want to say, congratulations on opening the first black pole class studio in Jacksonville, Florida.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So what inspired you to open a pole studio?
Because stripping, actually. If it wasn't for stripping, I wouldn't have gotten into pole. And you know, I've been dancing for about 10 years. So when I first got into dancing, you know, I was really skinny, and I had to kind of like find something to separate myself from the girls with the big booties in the club. So I started self-teaching myself to pole dance. So I tried to find a pole class here in Jacksonville, and they have one that's really popular. It's called Bittersweet, but it's way out like Mandarin area, and then it's one like on the beach. But so I went to one, and it was like really like whitewashed. It didn't cater to, you know, me and like the type of music, the vibe. It just wasn't, I couldn't like really learn anything in there. And I'm like, dang, you know, I wonder how many black women come here and they feel the same way that I felt. So a couple years into my dancing career, you know, I just was like, dang, you know, I want to open a dance studio. I want to open a studio. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a couple years till I get, you know, better, until I really learn and I become a pro at what I'm doing, to be able to teach other people. So I was inspired by stripping, actually.
So yeah, like in the stripper business, a lot of dudes think just because you stripper is exotic dance, so they think you trick, but that ain't the thing for most people. Most people just do it just because to accomplish their goals and all that. What you got to say about that?
I mean, prostitution is the cousin of stripping. People gonna think that. I mean, we're soliciting our bodies for money, not necessarily having sex, but we're soliciting nudity for money. The difference between it is stripping is an illusion. It's, you know, it's a fantasy. So I'm fucking your mind in order to make you think you can have sex with me, or to think that I'm gonna trick with you. Now you do have, you know, sex workers who come in the club and they take up dancing as a way to meet their clientele, to, you know, to prostitute with them or whatever. But every stripper is not a prostitute. If you gonna sell coon, you gonna sell it regardless. I know a lot of girls who ain't stripping who on a payroll, okay? So nah, but I mean, it is hand in hand because it's all sex work. It's all in the same category. But it's all about how you know, present yourself and how you carry yourself in the game. And if you create that name for yourself. If you're that dancer that when niggas come in the club, they say, oh shit, you know, I could tip her a couple hundred and I know she gonna leave with me, then that's just the image you made for yourself. And that's really just what it is. You have to build your image in order for people to respect you in a certain light. So it's either gonna be negative or positive. And that's my goal here with having a studio and opening it. I wanted to bring the positive side of dancing and using your body and being sexy. I wanted to bring the positive side of it out.
Like, you known as one of the top pole dancers in the city. Like, how many years of experience do you have with it?
Years of experience, about 8. I've been dancing since 2011, something like that. I was about 20, 21. So I'm retiring this year. I'll be 30, so this will be my 10-year mark. So I'll say about 2 years into my career is when I started getting serious about pole dancing. So I'm about 7 or 8 years in with it at this point.
Like, when you first got on the pole, like, did you ever think, like, scared that you was gonna fall off of it? Like,
oh, I fell a lot of times. I fell a lot of times, and like I said, at the time there wasn't really nobody around that was saying, like, teaching us, like, okay, do this, do that, you know, teaching us how to do the stuff correctly. So like I said, I was self-taught. I was just getting up there and just kind of freestyling and seeing what worked for me and what didn't. And shit, I fell a lot of times. I got bruises. I fractured my shoulder one time. Shit, my wig flew off one time. Like, a lot of things have happened, but I'm still here. So even when my clients come in here and like, you know, I have mats on the floor and stuff, so they don't, if they do fall, it doesn't hurt. But back then I didn't know nothing about a crash mat. So I tell people all the time though, like, you want to fall because that's what's gonna make you stay up there, you know, the feeling of falling.
So yeah, not being scared to fall is gonna make you better. So what was like one of your biggest obstacles you had to go through with opening your studio?
My biggest obstacle was the city. The city and COVID. When I got this building, mind you, this is about my fourth or fifth building that I tried to open a studio in over the course of my dancing career. And I lost a lot of money. Excuse me. I lost a lot of money with some of them. Like, people were trying to shit me. People didn't really, when I would tell them what I was doing, they didn't really believe the vision because they didn't believe that black women could do this. So COVID, when I first got this building, as soon as I got it, the world went on lockdown, which was in 2019. So we went on lockdown or whatever, and I was still paying rent on this building through the whole pandemic when it was, mascaras was closed. So I was paying bills at my house and up here just to keep the building because, you know, so when, you know, the world opened up and, you know, I had a really good landlord. He came to me, he was like, listen, you know, you was paying your, you know, your rent the whole time through the lockdown. I wasn't even asking you for it. You was still sending it. He was like, you know, when you open, I'm gonna give you time to get it together, so I'm not gonna charge you for your first couple of months. So that was a blessing. It helped me. But the city as well, they kind of like fought against me because I just think that they weren't used to a black woman trying to open this type of business. So they were like on my back about the permits. They were taking their time because they had said that like COVID had they had so many backed up permits and stuff, and they didn't know when they would get to mine. So this building, I couldn't even do anything in it. I couldn't remodel it. I couldn't build a bath. I had to build a wheelchair accessible bathroom. I couldn't really do none of that until my permits came through. So even once the city opened back up, you know, the world opened back up, I had to still wait on the city. So I feel like those were my two biggest obstacles, COVID and the city of Jacksonville.
Do you plan on opening any other location anytime soon?
Not soon. This is my first baby, so I'm gonna rock out here for a couple years. I do feel like I'm going to have to either expand or make new locations soon because of how it's growing and how many women come at one time. Like, I can be sitting in here and it'll be 5 or 6, 7 women come in at one time, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like in the future, yeah, I may, but as of right now, nah, I'm gonna kind of rock out with it.
That's what's up. You ever thought of like about going on tour of different cities, like doing pole classes and everything?
Yeah, but the thing about going to different cities where people don't know you, it's hard. It's hard to build a clientele, you know, and then you have to cover all your own expenses as far as the traveling, and you have to pray that people would, you know, come, and then you have to pray that people would want to pay the prices that you're charging. So even when girls like dance out of town and stuff, I always tell them, like, they be like, oh, I don't want to dance in my hometown, whatever. You're not gonna make the money nowhere more than that you're gonna make in your own city where everybody knows you. It's home. You're gonna get shown the most love in your city, and people don't believe that, but your city gonna show you the most love because that's where you came up at. That's where people know you at. So I feel like maybe if it get big enough, the brand get big enough where I could, you know, have a studio here in this city or this state or whatever, then yeah. But for now, Jacksonville is it. Jacksonville is home. And so I made this studio so when people come to my city, they can come see me. So, you know, I don't have to extend myself out to people now.
Oh yeah, and you answered like a part of one of my questions, like for young females that want to get into the dancing but they afraid what others may say. What you got to say about that?
I don't encourage it. I don't encourage any young female to just automatically start stripping, but I also don't look down on it. Everybody has their reasons. Everybody has, you know, a situation or something where they may just need money. I don't know. Me and my situation, you know, I was like a first time graduate in my immediate family. You know, I broke a generational curse with that. You know, I was really smart, still am, but I was that person that my family thought, oh, she's gonna go to college, she gonna do this, she gonna do that. And I always worked. I always had a regular job while I danced, but I started dancing, and you know, my family was mad. My dad, he didn't agree with it. He still don't, but you know, he grown to accept it. But you know, I hid it from my family for a long time because I was afraid of what people would say or whatever and all that. But once I got past that point and I started making the money and I started taking care of myself and shit, I was like, shit, bump what people say. Like, y'all not gonna pay my rent, y'all not gonna get me a car. You know what I'm saying? When I first started dancing, I didn't even have a car, and then I saved up enough and I bought my first car. It was a 2000 Camry, and when I tell you that it rolled like a Benz. Okay, we rode that thing. It was all over the world. And like, stripping just really opened a lot of doors to me. A lot of celebrities, a lot of people, a lot of relationships I've built. Like, I wouldn't have did that if it wasn't for me being in a club environment. I just try to encourage young girls, or like, to just be really headstrong. Don't be a follower. Don't be weak-minded, because stripping is the jungle. Like, you gotta fight. You gotta fight for your spot. You gotta fight for your name. And it's a million other girls doing the same thing as you and that want the same thing as you, which is money. So the competition is every day. So as long as you got a strong head, you don't really give in under influence. You know, people gonna try to give you drugs. People gonna try to encourage you to do shit. As long as you don't really give in to that shit, you'll be okay. But a lot of the younger girls now, this new generation of dancing, they don't have no type of guidance. And I can tell that, you know, just the things that they do in the club and stuff now, like, it's like no mutual respect for other dancers, and just like the way they carry themselves in the club, the way they present themselves to men, like, it's just horrible. So I'm glad that I'm, you know, a person that people can come to and ask these type of questions, and I can teach them something about the game.
That's what's up. So what are your opening days for your studio like? Do you open every day during the week, and what's your hours?
Yes, we're open every day except Sunday. That's the Sabbath day. God says sit your ass down on a Sunday. So we're open every day except Sundays. Mondays we open from 3 to 10, and then Tuesday through Saturday we're open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night. So yeah, I'll be up here pretty late. I have women that come in at like 9:30, so I'll be up here late. I'll be up